Hello everyone, and welcome back to our Attack on Titan reaction series. In the last episode, we learned what kind of life Grisha had outside the walls. It was horrible. Since he was a kid, he and his family were hated for being aliens, a race of humans that is seen as devils. His sister was killed when they were very young, and many years later he joined the Restorationists to fight against the nation of Marley, where he met Dinah Fritz, who became his wife, and later they had a son, Zeke. Unfortunately, Zeke turned them in, and all the Restorationists were taken to Paradise to be transformed into Titans. All of these memories were seen by Eren, who realized that Dinah was the Titan who ate his mother. In the end, the only one who survived was Grisha. He was saved by the Owl, a spy working with the Restorationists, who also had the power of the Titans. So, I'll leave you now with the girls, and as always, if you enjoyed this video, remember to hit the like button and subscribe if you're new. See you later.
皆果実の絞りかすのように、海に投げ入れられた。
Y él no le hizo nada, ¿por qué? Porque ese búho pues estaba hacia su lado. ¿Sí?
海とは何かを地表の7割を占める広大な塩水である。フクロウ、あんたは何者だ？俺はエレン・クルーガー。今見せた通り、9つの巨人の一つを宿している。
Ah, de los que estaban escondidos en la muralla.
マーレ人になりすまし、当局に潜入したのか？医者は諜報員に向いている。実際お前はよく。
Por eso va a ser doctor.
俺はダメな父親で、ダメな夫で、俺だけが人の姿のままここに。なぜ俺だけ生かした？よせ、ここで巨人にされたんだ。民の指を切り落とし、ここで巨人にしてきた。すべてはエルディアのためだったと信じてる。お前に最後の任務を託す。初めてお前と会った日、あんなことが起きなければくしみを抱くことはなかっただろう。敵国、父親、自分、この世を焼き尽くさんとするばかりだった。革命軍となり、父はその一員だった。何も成し遂げることなく、生きたまま焼かれた。隙間から見ていることしかできなかった。エルディアの復権を誓った。同胞の指を詰め、ここから蹴落とし、俺は未だあの時のまま。俺に残された任務とは何だ？始祖の巨人を奪還しろ。巨人を継承してな。巨人化したお前に食われる。なぜあんたがやらない？巨人の力を継承した者は、俺が継承したのも13年前になる。ユミルの呪いと言っていた。13年は死ぬまでの年月に相当する時間だと。
13年、エレンは
残り8年。
これは何かの間違い。
力を継承させることなく死んだ場合、突如として継承される。皆一様に見えない何かでつながって全て一つの座標で交わる。つまり始祖の巨人だ。
En honor a él le ha puesto a su hijo Eren.
一体何なんだ？悪魔の使い、神がもたらした奇跡、起源と接触した少女。誰だって神でも悪魔にでもなれる。ダイナは王家の血を引くものだと言った。ダイナが王家の血を引くのは事実。ではなぜ見捨てた？死ぬまで敵国のための子を産まされ続ける生涯の方が、俺は務めを果たした。お前もそうしろ。俺に務まるとは思えない。あれを見ろよ。生きたまま巨人に食われて死んだ。奴の断末魔は聞くに耐えないおぞましさだった。何も分かっていなかった。払わなかった。立て。戦え。見ろ。お前の家から持ってきた。見られない。弾もないか。マーレに強制されたか。俺に残されたのは罪だけだ。それで十分だ。あの日お前が妹を連れて壁の外、いずれ父親の診療所を継ぎ、大人になった妹は結婚し、その行いが報われる日まで死んだ後もこれは 前が始めた物語だろう。9つの巨人には継承される巨人にもだ。いついかなる時代においても進み続けた自由のために。名は
進撃の巨人。
何してるの？進撃の巨人。二人とも今の見たでしょ？ええ。君の巨人の名前でしょ？
こいつは15だぞ。そういう時期は誰にでもある。
¿Dicen sí?
なんだよそういう時
¿Sí
期。
tenía
¿Qué?
más?
Un mocoso.
¿Ves? Por eso me gusta Levi.
何それどういうこと？
何しに来たんですか？出ろ。少し痩せたか。飯は十分食えたのに。
エレンは元気そう。
Le dio su comida, seguro.
行くぞ。何をす
¿Y
る？
más alta?
謁見だ。女王陛下がトロスト区に起こした。
Un tamaño, pues.
Y si pone tacos le pasa. Historia.
親愛なるヒストリアへ畳める様子を覗き見している。絶対にモテない。
Chismoso, reina.
お前にこの手紙、こいつらを救った借りを返したいのだと。お前よりこいつらを選んでしまうなんて。でも後悔はしてない。正直心残りがある。結婚できてないことだ。ユミルより。
Parece el Capitán Smith ahora la lista, ¿no?
¿Murió?
何今のは。これで全部ですか？
うん。何かお前だけにわかるメッセージはなかったか？
わからない。バカだな、ユミルって。これじゃわかんないよ。
O sea, se murió.
No.
Ah, sí la quería. No. Ah, no sé nada.
陛下。
¿Y por qué él no se agacha? Malcriado. Malcriado, Levi, por Dios.
本当にいろいろあったね。
Le han puesto mucha ceja como a la cara del...
Me gustaba más como le queda el pelo suelto.
君が生きてることは。
そうだ。
みんなが思ったよ
Mi
り
casa.
いつも通りでよかった。
それは
A mi casa le quedó esa
誰も実感できてない
cicatriz
だけ
acá,
だ。
¿no? ¿Qué dices, Sasha? Oh, quiero una manzana.
グリシャ・イエーガー氏の半生。この3冊の本の存在はこの部屋にいる者のみである。調査兵団9名と199名の戦果だ。
Asu.
半地添え。
は。敵が巨人という化け物だけであればどんなに良かったことでしょうか。手記によれば我々は巨人になれる特殊な人種、この世から根絶するのだと。
Qué raro,
始
¿no?
祖の巨人がマーレの手に落ちれば、エルディアが再び罪を犯すというのなら、不戦のちぎりを交わした。壁の門を閉ざした。
言い残したのではないのか。
束の間の平和を享受するらしい。無垢の民に囲まれ、そこを楽園だとほざいている。必ず見つけ出して、臆した王から始祖の巨人を取り上げろ。
イエーガー氏はその後、息子エレンに託されました。その進化を発揮する条件は、その力を宿すこと、窮地を逃れたことがあります。
そうだ。すべてがつながった気がした。あの一瞬だけ。
血を引くものです。
まさか。
どうしたの？突然。
続けたまえ、我らの巨
何でもありません。
Ah, la prueba.
会議を妨げてすいません。
そっか。時期にあるようでした。
¿Cuál
突
es
然
esa?
格好をつけたり叫んだりしてしまうようです。
巨人にして俺が接触すれば、始祖の巨人の力を扱える。兵団はヒストリアをどうする？
家庭を持て。
俺にはダイナがいる。
O sea, no la quería
そんな
notar.
ことを言われても。
そうとも限らん。町の人でもいい。壁の中で人を愛せ。ミカサやアルミ。使命を全うしろ。
¿Qué?
ミカサ？アルミ？
¿Cómo lo conoce?
Ujú.
さあ、誰の記憶だろう。
¿Ah?
Ah, su madre, otra vez.
Su madre, no entiendo nada. Va a morir.
Otra vez ese ending perturbador. ¿O es Eren? No, no puede ser Eren. Es el verdadero padre de Eren. Ah, no.
No.
Ya sé, ya estoy quemada, ya. Oh, Pantera. Ymir.
戦えば自由があると信じていた。夢を見ていた彼らは人類の真実を知り、次回
Viste el mongol este con su
壁
barba.
の向こう側。
Hello guys and welcome back. Let's talk about episode 58 of Attack on Titan. The episode starts with Grisha's memories. Diao kills all the Malian soldiers using his Titan, and then he reveals his identity to Grisha. His name is Eren Kruger. He's an Eldian who pretended to be a Marlian to infiltrate public security. He managed to do this with the help of a doctor, who faked his blood test. Then, even though Grisha feels guilty for everything that happened, he complains to Kruger for not saving Dinah and the others. But Kruger says that everything he has done was for the sake of Eldia, and now he will entrust his last mission to Grisha. Kruger explains to Grisha that the reason he chose him was because of his hatred of Marley. He tells Grisha that the hate he saw in his eyes after losing his sister reminded him of himself. The royal family that stayed formed a revolution, and his father was part of it. But they accomplished nothing, and he had to see how they were burned alive. After that day, he swore revenge on Marley. But all this time, he has done nothing else than horrible things to his fellow patriots. All of that to never get caught. Kruger tells Grisha that his mission is to retake the founding Titan. Grisha has to eat Kruger to inherit his Titan, and then do the same to the founder. Kruger explains that he has to pass his mission because those who inherit the power of the Night Titans die after 13 years, and he's about to die. Then we go to the present, where Eren is explaining all of this. He says that Diao called it the Curse of Ymir. She died 13 years after her powers awakened, so everyone else should have the same fate. This means that Armin has 13 years left, while Eren only 8 years, which is something that Mikasa can't accept. Eren continues explaining that if someone with the power of the Night Titans dies without passing it on, a newborn would inherit it. And that is possible because all Eldians are connected. Eren says that one inheritor saw paths that connected everyone to one single coordinate, which is the founding Titan. We go back to Grisha's memories. He asks Kruger who exactly was Ymir. Kruger explains that for Marley she was a pawn of the devil. For Eldia she was a miracle of God. And other people say that she touched the source of all living matter. In the end, no one can be sure about anything. Each person decides what to believe in. So Grisha asks if Dinah really had royal blood, or if it was a lie. Kruger explains that it was true, and that is why he couldn't let Marley know about her. Otherwise, she would have been forced to give birth to children for the enemy for the rest of her life. Kruger has done his duty, and now it's Grisha's turn. Only someone with the power of the Titans can reach the walls. But Grisha doesn't believe he can do it. All of this is just too much. He can't handle it, and if he had known that this was the price of freedom, he wouldn't have paid it. Kruger needs Grisha to continue his mission, but he's devastated. He can't do anything. So Kruger tries to make him remember his hatred, but Grisha says that it's pointless. All he has left now are his sins, and Kruger says that his sins are more than enough. If Grisha hadn't left the walls with his sister, he would have a different life now, and his sister would still be alive. The same goes for Kruger. Both of them must push forward until the price of their actions is paid. So Grisha decides to continue what he started. Then Kruger tells Grisha that all 9 Titans are given names, including the one he will inherit. In all history, this Titan would always fight for freedom, and his name is the Attack Titan. Back to the present, Eren is still sharing his father's memories when Hanji and Levi arrive to release him and Mikasa. Their punishment is over, and now they all are going to an audience with the queen. While waiting for them, Historia reads Ymir's letter. It explains that Raina had to be next to her while writing it, but he promised he would deliver her letter as payback for saving them. Ymir is sorry for choosing them over her, and she's going to die soon after writing this letter. She would like to say that she has no regrets, but she regrets not being able to marry her. After reading the letter, Historia has some visions about Ymir's past, and she sees her whole story, and it ends with Ymir in front of someone who is about to transform into a titan to eat her. Hanji and Yang hope that there was a hidden message in the letter, but unfortunately there isn't. Historia starts to remember Ymir, and she feels sad thinking about her. But then Eren and the others arrive. After a little moment between them, they go to the audience where, in front of the queen, the military will decide what to do with all the information they got from the scouts. While Hanji sums up everything they know, we go back to Grisha's memories. Kruger tells Grisha that if Marley steals the power of the founding titan, that's it for the audience. The problem is that the king won't fight no matter what. Even the threat of releasing the colossal titans inside the walls is a bluff. The king just wants to have some time of peace, but Kruger claims that a king who can't protect his people is no king, so they have to take the founding titan from him. We continue with the audience. While Hanji explains everything they know so far about the power of the founding titan, Eren remembers something important. The one time he was able to use that power was when he touched Daina, who was a titan with royal blood. That is why he was able to do it, so Eren freaks out in front of everyone, but he doesn't want to explain anything. Thankfully, Hanji excuses him, saying that he is just having a phase. But the truth is that Eren hasn't told anyone about Daina being that titan, and he's afraid of sharing his theory because of what the military could do to Historia if they knew. Finally, we go back to Grisha's memories. Kruger suggests Grisha to get married and have a family. Grisha doesn't want to, but the idea is to love someone inside the walls. Otherwise, history will just repeat itself. And the episode ends with Kruger telling Grisha to save Mikasa and Armin. Neither of them know who they are, but it seems like somehow Kruger was connecting with some future memories. Now, as always, there are some details in this episode that I would like to talk about. Kruger explained to Grisha that the reason he chose him was because the hate in his eyes was enough to burn the world to ashes. Kruger said that he was like that, and Kishalis said something similar about Eren. So it's only fitting that Grisha named his son after Kruger. The thing is that everyone chooses a person like themselves to pass their Titan powers. But the scary part is that the Attack Titan could easily destroy the whole world if they could. And with Eren, that is how this could end. But maybe the solution is in what Kruger said to Grisha at the end, that he has to love someone. That should be his motivation. So if there is any other solution, maybe that is how they could find it. It said that Ymir only lived 13 years after her powers awakened. But it's also said that after her death, her spirit was split into 9 titans. The thing is that Ymir was just a child, so it seems impossible to think that she could have 9 children to pass her titan powers. Also, in the third ending, we can see a ceremony where there are 3 girls eating someone. This must be Ymir, and this must be how she split her titan powers. There is something missing here, but I think this was done at least one more time to get the 9 titans. Also, I wonder if this could work today. Maybe the tribe of cannibals that Hanji mentioned long time ago actually knew the truth, and they were trying to find a titan shifter, and they believed that they could steal their titan powers by eating the person. The moment when Eren said the name of his titan was mind-blowing. Turns out that the whole time we had the wrong title. It should be the Attack Titan instead of Attack on Titan. Actually, the wrong title doesn't work that well anymore, but we are already used to it. And the right one would have been kind of a spoiler at the beginning of the series. Also, this scene where Hanji shows up and starts to imitate Eren is really funny. Hanji always surprises Eren while talking to himself. Mikasa looked weak after her punishment. It could be that she was depressed after learning that Eren and Armin are going to die in a few years. But what if there was actually another reason for this? Could it be that being underground for a while affected her the same way it would to a titan? The titans need the sunlight to have energy, so maybe the same goes for the Ackermans. I think it could be that the Ackermans were injected the spinal fluid of the founding titan, and that is why they are so strong, just like the titans, and also why they had to obey the king, just like 6 titans. And the reason they never transformed into titans was because they are not Eldians. This might sound a bit crazy, but it will actually explain everything about them. Also, that could be the reason why Levi is so short. Living underground can really affect an Ackerman, and if that sounds too ridiculous, there is actually another anime where there is a character who is very short and he comes up with a crazy theory about his height. Not everyone believes him, but in the end it's revealed that it was actually true. A couple of more details about Kruger. First, he mentions the vow-renouncing word to Grisha, but he probably thought that it was just something that all members of the royal family agreed before inheriting the founding titan, not something that they can go against. Otherwise, he would have prevented the restorationists from having Zeke becoming a warrior to get the power of the founding titan for them. And finally, the fact that he can connect with the future means that Eren can also do it. It has happened already, before he even inherited the power of the Titans. But it could happen again, and this time he might be able to interpret what he is seeing and use that information to make his decisions. Although, for us, this makes it even harder to anticipate what he's going to do, because we can know what information he gets from the future. Anyway, that's it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, remember to hit the like button and see you in the next one. Bye bye.